Dennis Hun was inspired to create this exoskeleton arm for his uncle who suffers from Parkinson's.
You can do nothing with these shaky hands, even for like holding a cup of water or holding a spoon to eat.
About a year ago, he came up with his prototype, which he says suppressed his uncle's tremors by 70%. Using a machine learning algorithm, the arm is able to detect the difference between a tremor and an intentional movement. Then it either suppresses the tremor or aids in the movement. It's programmed and linked to a smart device.
So it can provide enough information for the doctors to diagnostic the symptoms, and also for their families. The families can keep checking to know what's going on.
Dennis says getting it to market requires stringent clinical testing and lots of investment and time. So he's looking at other uses for it, such as gaming, particularly virtual reality. He's currently looking to raise $500,000 for his device.
So the virtual reality is something I believe there's some missing gap, because you can see, but how you can touch. With the exoskeleton, it can provide you the pressure that it seems you are touching something here.
He says once he's raised enough money from producing it as a VR exoskeleton, he can then refocus back to healthcare. There has been a surge of connected devices being developed recently. Today, there are 15 billion internet-connected devices. Analysts predict there will be 50 billion by 2020. $8 trillion is expected to be generated worldwide through innovation in this industry in the next 3 years. Manav Gupta is the founder of a Hong Kong-based Internet of Things or IoT incubator. He says Hong Kong is geographically positioned to be an IoT hub.
Hong Kong's infrastructure, Hong Kong's design talent, Hong Kong's banking infrastructure, Hong Kong's partnerships, and South China for product development in Shenzhen and Guangzhou for distribution logistics has been a good pairing of the IoT trifecta, as we call it, which is Hong Kong, Shenzhen, and Guangzhou working in unison together towards delivering great value for IoT founders.
Florian was originally based in Germany when he decided he wanted to revolutionize the music industry with his device.
We're all musicians ourselves, and so we experienced the problem of this annoying click sound of a traditional metronome. So we thought, why not use technology to solve this problem and allow musicians to feel the rhythm, which makes more sense than listening to the rhythm.
I see this is like the box of the first few prototypes. Which is the very first one?
Yeah, so I have here the very first prototype. We actually built that in 48 hours after having the idea. We went to a little child store, a toy store, and we got these clip bands that you can put on. This red case here is 3D printed. Okay. So that took just a couple of hours, and then inside here we have the motor of an old Nokia cell phone we had lying around at home.
The idea worked, and 4 months later, they moved to Hong Kong to set up their company.
We very quickly realized that it takes a lot to bring a hardware device to the market, and Germany was a very poor choice for making electronics. Being in Hong Kong puts our company literally on steroids, because you are so close to China, you have the suppliers, the know-how, the manufacturing. You also have a good environment to raise seed funding.
Using an app, the device connects to your phone and vibrates to the beat once you set the beats per minute.
Now if I start the metronome here, I can feel the rhythm, I can also hear it, I can mute it like so.
It can be synchronized with multiple units, and users can tap out a beat on the device.
So I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it matches what I tap. I even have this mode called ludicrous mode to show the power of the vibration, which feels like this.
Okay, that's really strong.
Yeah.
Late last year, they started a crowdfunding campaign hoping to raise $75,000. They raised $250,000 and have shipped out 3,000 units so far.
So after the campaign, we actually raised $500,000 from investors to accelerate the manufacturing and make sure we can support more software platforms.
The product retails for $99 versus the traditional metronome, which starts at $50.
And they will still stay.
And while his product might be copied into cheaper versions on the mainland, he's not too worried.
What's so great about IoT is that you have always the software component too, which is quite a lot of defensibility. A Chinese factory, they can just copy our hardware, but they can't copy our design, our software, our hardware-software integration, our ludicrous mode.
One of the biggest markets for IoT is fitness, with many people adopting fitness bands over the last few years. But things are evolving.
This fitness device doesn't just have your music in it. It tracks your heart rate, your distance, and provides real-time coaching to make sure you stick to your workout.
Existing wearables just tell you how many steps you're taking or the distance you travel, and that's pretty useless. So we decided to create a device that could actually, using sensor technology and voice coaching, could help you achieve your goals.
These headphones pair with a mobile app that contains all your biometric data, as well as training plans to help you achieve your fitness goals. It can also be used underwater.
The headphones have its own microchip, its own memory, it's got its own sensor technology, its own accelerometer, and its own voice coaching training plans all into one device. So you can even forget about the phone.
Carlos says they want to focus on training, so the coaching plans are key.
We already have 20 Olympic medalists in the team creating training plans for swimming, running, cycling, losing weight, general fitness, and relaxation.
IoT isn't just booming in fitness, but all around us.
They are a delightful family, but they have one problem. Their air conditioner is
This
not so
device is
delightful.
geared towards making the
In summer
temperature
months, when
just
it's
right
hot and
for
humid
users.
outside.
Things like humidity, your metabolic cycle, changing weather conditions outdoors, sunlight coming into the room, so on. These are all factors that our model currently takes into account. So by considering all of these factors, our system will automatically adjust your air conditioner to give you the perfect comfort all the time, and in that way we also help you save energy.
The device pairs with your smartphone and any air conditioner that uses a remote control. Once you input your temperature comfort levels throughout the day, it factors in external conditions and starts to learn.
The AI is our core technology, the ability to change the paradigm of how users interact with their air conditioners. In our lab testing, we've seen up to about a 30% energy saving, and from our users in the field, we've heard reports of around 20% or 20+%.
IoT is definitely the beginning of artificial intelligence being omnipresent in our lives.